funny guy coming up. Are y'all ready? Yeah. Make some noise for Hank Gowdey!
How's it going, gang? All right. You guys ever try and solve a Rubik's Cube on acid and realize it's a live baby?
Can you host the last half?
Twice.
I can't say
God.
And the other Henry Cruz.
This guy has.
Yeah, I can.
Okay.
I've been watching a lot of Jason Statham movies. He's overly confident and selfishly British. Every other actor in the movie speaks English. I have to watch this movie with British subtitles just for him. Bullets bounce off his chest. He always has the right comeback. I'm thinking, does this guy ever have a moment of insecurity? So I came up with a character, transgender Jason Statham, Jason they them. He's like, he's got a gun to a guy's head. He's like, look him in the eyes. And do you start calling this girl? Or I'm gonna have to make a fucking laugh. Hi, you need to start giving me the fucking line codes. Get me fucking pronouns, man. Yeah. I was laughing earlier about like what if Cat Williams did like a fucking gardening show on HGTV, or if he was in like some sort of architecture show. He's like, fuck a sub-basement. What the fuck even is a sub-basement? Nothing good has ever happened inside of a sub-basement. How you gonna build a place where beneath already was? Fuck a balcony. Just give me more house. If I wanted some fresh air, I'd just use my goddamn motherfucking front door. Fuck a balcony. Then they always try and upcharge you by using unnecessary words at you and shit. This is a predella. No, bitch, that is a shelf. It will never be anything other than a shelf, and it will always be a shelf. Don't try and upcharge me, bitch, because you wanted to take another semester in English. I feel like if you're doing an impression of a black comic, you gotta do the trademark. Oh, boy. I don't know. I don't keep up with the news often, but I read that China's been manufacturing guided missiles. Which, if you don't know what a guided missile is, it's just a regular missile that had a good dad. You know, there's a lot of different cultural differences, you know, between us and China. It's a very interesting culture. Like, if you're a breakfast shop in America, you go in there, you're like, let me get a coffee and a bagel. In China, you're like, let me get a coffee and a beagle. They eat dogs. Diversity is our strength, unless you point it out, apparently.
No, I don't think I'm gonna wait that goddamn long. I'm gonna go.
I digress. Look, it's the only country in the world where a nice restaurant there's a segment on the menu called Best in Show. I don't think I'd tell a tale to school. It's the only place on earth where dinner's running late because it's playing with your kids in the living room. But they're fine, people. I don't know. I went to, I was also laughing about, like, to bring it back to Cat Williams, because it's just such a fun voice to do. If he was doing, like a seminar for celibacy or some shit, like at a high school where they bring a guy in and, like, basically be gay. I don't know, but he goes, like, don't fuck. That's, at least it's in the South they do that shit. But him being like, why the fuck they even gonna call the drug prep? Bitch, you got AIDS. You didn't prepare for shit. That was making me laugh. Homophobic. But, I remember I knew the first, like, gay friend I had was when I was going to school in college, and he was, like, a really smart guy. He graduated top of his class, bottom of his teacher, but he was doing more sucking and fucking than goddamn, whatever that gay piano player was. Well, remember that guy's name? Liberace. Which, isn't that Spanish? I feel like that's something Eddie's relatives would yell when they finally jump over the wall. Liberace! Home free! My favorite news story that doesn't really show up anymore these days is there, I don't know, I swear to God, there used to be like a slew of these news stories where like a person would get struck by lightning and then suddenly be able to speak a different language, like out of nowhere. So like, but it was my favorite like type of news story was lightning turning people racist. It was just like a thing in the early 2000s. It's like Jennifer was leaving the Target at 7 o'clock on Thursday when suddenly she was struck by lightning. But when she woke up, she could speak Chinese. Then it just cuts to some dumb bitch and she's like, Hong Chao Kim she rubber. You're like, that's not anywhere near close to Chinese, first of all. Then they interview her like after she comes out of the fugue, the Oriental fugue state that she was in. She's like, yeah, I never even been to China, but you know, like, whatever. But yeah, that's a news story you don't see a lot these days anymore. You know what's funny? I'll talk about this. I was just at the Arlington Improv, Black Room. Woo! Wow, all the rest of you are racist. That one guy, he saved it. But no, I was trying to do this idea of like, because I don't know if you read this, but if you smoke a menthol cigarette, you are disqualified from going to space. Which I think feels kind of racist, because black people like menthol cigarettes. And I'm like, okay, this is probably some CIA big white man fucking over the brother again, right? And I'm like, okay. I'm like, Jesus Christ, I mean, a menthol cigarette specifically, because it crystallizes in space and then you bleed out in space. So I'm like, fucking NASA, more like NASA. Oh yeah. But I didn't have the fucking balls to do it to an all-black room that already, the cards were stacked against me on that one, but now I know it works. Let's see, what could we talk about? Drugs are fun. Does anyone here like drugs? Yeah, drugs are great. Alcohol is considered a drug, but it's interesting, like, I have what the doctors would call a drinking problem, which what do they know? But I went to an AA meeting, the only one I ever went to, right? What a bunch of fucking losers. What I'll say is this. It was a church building with a whole series of different anonymous groups in there. Like, so I went into the AA meeting not really knowing what to expect. They had like free cookies, free pastry, free donuts, free Danishes, pretzels. I was like, Jesus Christ, across the hall you go into Overeaters Anonymous, open bar. I'm like, you know what, gang? I'm glad that got nothing. Can we turn on the red lights and give it to me? I mean, Jesus Christ. I'm going to go back to drinking after this.
I have a question. Can you do Cat Williams having to decide between Jackie or Marilyn?
Jackie Onassis or Marilyn Monroe?
Yeah, Jackie Onassis or Marilyn Monroe.
Okay.
Cat Williams. I just really want to hear this.
Okay. So it would go a little something like this. He would say like, he'd be like, that bitch doesn't even deserve it. She ain't even got a fat ass. You see Marilyn, she be taking pills. That's how you know the bitch fun. She's taking drugs. She's gonna put Jif peanut butter on your dick. You're gonna be called Captain Skip because your dick's gonna be covered in peanut butter. Yeah, I don't know.
You talked about blacks and gays and Cat Williams, and you have to tell me that you're secretly in love with him and you probably fuck the second you get a chance.
Well, first of all, yeah, wow. Yeah, let's give a round of applause to Timu Jenna Ortega for
Sir, I thrift.
You know, you look like...
Thank you for assuming I shop online.
Uh-huh. Listen, you're like Dora the Explorer if she was exploring her sexuality. I'm here for it. I'm here for it.
I'm the last motherfucker that explored me.
Let's not hog the mic.
Let's not hog the mic, man.
Say it, comment. If you want to get back on the mic, just get back to the mic.
Hey, I'm gonna leave you alone. That shit was funny as
Thank you, sir. We appreciate Mark Jack. We appreciate him.
I had a totally different question until she said the blacks. So I want to know your opinion on the quote, the blacks.
Just the phrase "the blacks" as opposed to blacks.
What about duh?
That's a good question.
That's a great question.
What is DA?
This is like inside the racist actor studio all of a sudden. James Too Big Lipton.
Oh, shit.
That should answer your question, I think. Anyone else? All right, I love you.